know you know.
Chris, talk about this matchup, man. Obviously, former top winner, a title challenger. I mean, a guy that's been around the game for a long time. Does this feel like a big fight in your career?
I think everything at this point in my life is a big fight, just because I am where I am. Yeah, tough winner, title challenger. That's cool, man. But this is what my 41st fight, I think, 40th fight, something like that. So, I mean, what changes? He's a guy, he's gonna come out, unless he can throw a fucking fireball or like start flying or some shit that I haven't seen before, what's he gonna do that I haven't seen?
Right.
Maybe he does some shit different, but like what's gonna change? Like I've got 40 fights, I've seen a lot, like I can't. One of my coaches said the best, you're not fighting Kelvin Gastelum, title challenger, you're not fighting Kelvin Gastelum, the tough winner, you're fighting Kelvin Gastelum, man. He's just a man. I fought 40 other men as a professional, so nothing changes.
Does it get it? I mean, do matchups excite you though when it is a name that has some star power attached to it or whatever? I mean, does it matter to you at all?
It does, man. It does to me. It matters a lot. Just because it took me so long to get here and so much work to get here. So I want those hard fights. But for me, it's it can become. The pressure can become really, really heavy when I'm trying. I don't want to see my stock decline. It took me so long to get here, and like there's still some people that look past me, and I hate seeing my stock decline. At the same time, I have to remember that what am I 39 now? I've beat 30 people. I've lost to 9. Like you're gonna take wins and losses. You're long on the road. So at this point, I stopped letting myself get so freaked out about it, man. Like I had 4 days ago, 5 days ago, I had a fucking freak out at practice. And they're like, what is wrong with you? And I'm just like in my own head because I have a habit of wanting to be perfect. I want everything to go perfect. I want to train perfect. I want to perform perfect. Everything. And I gotta remind myself, man, that perfect is the enemy of good. And like sometimes good is enough, especially, I train 7 days a week, year round. I don't take time off. And like, I respect Kelvin a lot, man. Like he said these guys can't change. He said he's healthy, and that's cool. But I know for a fact that he hasn't been disciplined for 15 years, and I've been every day over the last 15 years disciplined. So I don't care if he's had a really good camp and got shit together. I'm not gonna let one camp overwrite 15 years of hard work and sacrifice. I refuse.
How do you get ready for a guy like that that's in circus? Like I said, it's just an opponent, it's just a guy, but a guy that hasn't competed in over a year, a guy that has changed camps. I mean, do you look at his old tape and say, well, the guy's going to be the same guy, or do you have to say, well, he could be totally different? I mean, how do you prep?
Man, this is a hard camp for me, man, because Kelvin's a guy, there's a tale of two Kelvins. You're going to get the guy that fought Izzy and made him fight his ass off, or you're going to get the guy who's like eating burritos the week before fight week. So you never know what form of Kelvin you're going to get, or maybe somewhere in the middle is his true form, who knows. So for this, if it was up to me, I would have done a lot more differently, but fortunately I had like managers and coaches who were like, hey, stop being a weirdo, like we're gonna focus on you. Like we're gonna do what you focus on stuff you need to do, we're not gonna worry about him, we'll work on things that I wanna do, things that I wanna improve on. And for any fight, I've always said, looking too hard into your opponent is kind of a waste of time, because you never know who's gonna show up. Especially with Kelvin, it's even more so. I have no idea what Kelvin's going to come out. We have a likely game plan to go do, but like who knows. So you can't focus on Kelvin, man. For me, it's just working on stuff we want to work on. Specifically, we kind of got some shorter guys in, faster guys. When Val Woodward came in to help me out, Drew Dober helped me out, gave me a look. Joaquin Buckley came out to give me a look. Ty Murders and the Southpaw we have gave me a look. So we had a bunch of different looks for what Kelvin could want to do, so we covered all of our bases. We had John Poppy's another good guy, Gabriel Checo. So we had a lot of guys that gave me a lot of different possible Kelvin looks. So, like I say, unless he comes out and starts flying and throwing fireballs, we've seen it all.
Well, the final cliche is that I want the best version of that guy that I've ever seen. That's who I want to fight. But you're kind of known for keeping it real. Would you really like the best version of Kelvin Gastelum that's ever been, or would you like the burrito guy so that's a little bit easier to fight for you?
Give me the burrito guy, honestly. I'm totally fine with that. Here's the thing, guys. I love fighting. I love the violence of it. I love the aspect of it. So part of me is like, I do want the best Kelvin. You know, we go out there and have a war. And I do want to have a war, but I'm like, if I just have a burrito guy and just kind of go beat him up and get it, I'll take either or, but like at this point in my life, man, like I want to go hang out in Miami. I don't want to do that shit. I'll bruise up. So I'll fight the burrito guy. When he shows up, like, cool.
I agree. I mean, listen, you are in the rankings now. They've been in this game for a long time. It feels like, I don't know, this is kind of the moment or whatever. Like, do you have goals this year? Like, hey, I want to be in the top 5 by the end of this year. Or I want to do this. Do you let yourself get caught up in that and where you stand, especially now that you are officially a rankings team?
I kind of set, I'm weird, man. I don't really like setting, I don't even really setting goals like that. I mean, one or two things happens to you. You either never reach that goal and you hate yourself, or you reach that goal and then you can place it. So I don't really give myself goals. My goal has been, honestly, it hasn't really changed since I started fighting. Well, I had one stretch goal really was to get UFC. I'm here, but my overall goal has always been just to go as far as I can go. I want to see how far I can go. I want to reach my limit. I want to try to push to that limit. If I don't push through it, I'm like, fuck, all right, this is where, that's my limit. If I get through it, all right, that wasn't my limit, we'll keep going. My goal has always been to go as far as I can go. Outside of that, just having fun, man, enjoying my life, enjoying, you know, a little bit of the rewards and all the sacrifice. So, fuck it, no goals. Like, why put that limit on yourself? Just enjoy the ride and see where I go.
You mentioned, like, unless you start throwing fireballs, you've probably pretty much seen all there is to see. I'm curious, when was the last time you were in a fight and the other guy did something that you're like, what was that?
So, Jack Mason started throwing, like, jumping, flying teeps. And I'm like, what are you doing right now? Like, it was so weird because you don't really get, like, running, flying teeps. And Jack Mason kept doing it, and I'm looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And that didn't hurt, it didn't land. I'm just looking at him like, why are we like, we are gentlemen, we agreed to have a fist fight. I'm glad you kicking me, but like, why are you being weird? So that was the last time I was like, I don't know what the hell you're doing, bro, like, stop it. But outside of that, it doesn't really come up too often. Holy hell, actually, before I got signed to UFC, I fought Kenny Robertson, and former UFC guy. And everything he did was functionally wrong. And I've had more trouble in that fight than I can admit. Every time I look back on it, I'm just like, everything you did was functionally wrong. But I'm just like, you can't train for crazy fists. And he's moving his hands weird, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm fucking doing. In my corner, they're like, oh, why aren't you stopping him? I'm like, bro, I don't want to be close to him because like, this isn't normal. Like, none of us have trained this. I don't know if he's trained it, but yeah, weird shit works.
I know you said you weren't really worried or focused on Kelvin, but when they
I didn't say worried. I said focused. I didn't know.
When they brought you this name, were you concerned at all that he wouldn't make it to the fight, given how his last 3 fights kind of made it to the finish line?
It was a thing. My management and coaches had a discussion with me, like, okay, we're going to prepare for this fight with Kelvin, but we'll be aware that, you know, he's had some mishaps. And it sucks. And I feel like people give Kelvin a lot of shit. He's going to pull out a bunch of fights, but you gotta remember, like, you know, I'm older than Kelvin, but he's got a lot of mileage on him. He's been in a lot of wars. He's been doing this for a long time. Like, that shit adds up. I'm really fortunate that, like, I've got, like, really good, I call it, like, genetic genes. I'm close to the sports material. Like, I'm very black physically. So that I age very, I'm serious, I age very well. I don't get hurt. I recover fast. Even at 35, I still recover pretty fast. You know, I got good source genes. Kelvin's not so lucky, so, you know, injuries add up for a lot of people. Like, you know, he keeps getting injured, and it fucking happens, man. It's a hard sport, so, like, I'm never going to shit on a guy because, like, your body, you didn't luck out on the genetic lottery there, so. It's a concern. We're, you know, be prepared to get somebody if it changes, but once again, because they're trying to focus on working on me and not just, oh, what's Kelvin going to do? If it did change, you know, we're working on what I want to do, so it's not that bad.
And that stat of yours, the 100% takedown defense has been floated around a lot in the build up to this fight. Even Kelvin brought it up. He's like, well, he's never going to take it down. Maybe I have to fix it over. Is that a point of pride for you, or do you not even like think about that?
No, it's a joke to me because we laugh about it because it's such a weird, I actually did Adolfo the year. I joke about this a lot because every time anything comes up, Adolfo's like, hey, that's my stat. I gave that to you. And we laugh about it. But To me, it's funny. Like it is a little bit more of pride because like I struggled with wrestling early in my career. We had a gym change in Extreme Tour, and it really sat me down, had a heart-to-heart, like, hey man, your wrestling sucks. Like, I was trained coming from boxing to like counter wrestle, and they're like, that's not how you do this. So I essentially had to go to Extreme and relearn how to wrestle, and like not just wrestling defensively, but learning how to actually wrestle. And it kind of took away my fear of being taken down. So it's a point of pride, like okay, I'm better than I was, but holding on to that stat means nothing to me. Because like you're in a fight, like bullshit's gonna happen. You can be the best boxer in the world, get dropped. You can be the best wrestler in the world, get taken down. Like that stat means nothing. Because if I do get taken down, I don't care about being taken down. I care about my ability to scramble and get up. And that's the difference that I learned from like being at Extreme to like being at, I was at 64 and the Quest before everything else. The difference I learned that like getting taken down means nothing. In my entire career, I was kind of afraid that okay, if I get taken down, I fucked up, right? That was the mindset I had. Now I'm like, okay, if I get taken down, I don't really care if you take me down, it's fine. I can do everything right until you take it down. It matters if you can hold me there or prevent me from getting up. So, honestly, it's a cool stat to have because like if someone gets stuck at wrestling for a long time, it's great. And honestly, fuck that stat.
A couple more for me. It was announced Endeavor bought the majority rights to WWE, so kind of UFC and WWE are a package deal now. What do you make of that news and being co-workers with WWE?
I asked around and apparently my pay doesn't change, so I don't give a fuck.
And then how do you see the main event going between Alex and his rematch?
So I keep getting asked this, and like yesterday, like the media people asked me, as I'm signing a poster of I'm signing the posters, and I looked down before I answered, like prayer, like said, he's sitting there looking at me, like this like angry face, just standing up in that poster. So I'm always afraid to say anything. I'm not an Izzy fan. I'm not a fan of the fighting style, like the point fighting approach until something happens. Just not, nothing against him, respect to the champ. Just not a fan of it. I prefer Pereira, but at this point, my mind says Pereira. At this point, though, my heart says it has to be Izzy. This man has created his own boogeyman. You guys see the thing where he's like, oh, Pereira said he only came to MMA because Izzy said like he'll forgot, nobody cares about him. So he followed him. I'm like, this guy took your life in kickboxing, you left to make a new life, and he followed you out of like spite. So now I kind of feel for Izzy, like he has to win this fight. If he doesn't win this fight, he's an anime guy too, I am too, so I'm thinking like the only thing left to do is either throw yourself off of a cliff, or like you sacrifice, go find a Cthulhu abomination. You make sacrifices and you ruin the world out of spite. Like he has to. So Izzy has to win for our sakes because like that dude is gonna be at the end of this road, and he has a personal boogeyman, and I fucking feel for him. But that's a terrifying thought. To know everything you do, like as prayers and looking over your shoulder, just scowling. And apparently he's the nicest man ever. I've run into him so many times. Nicest dude ever. Very nice, very just a cool dude. But he just stands there like fucking Michael Myers in the background of Izzy's life. And I'm like, bro, I feel bad for you. You have to win. So I feel like Izzy's gonna give it his absolute everything, die everything if he has to, because this is just. You got people like, oh, you can't run from your demons. If your demon has a name, and he's gonna be there on Saturday. So good fucking luck, bro.
Well, I have never heard a fighter bring up the Cthulhu being a big Lovecraft fan.
I'm a huge Lovecraft fan. Besides the insane racism, xenophobia and everything else. But I'm not being mad at him. It's probably more time. It's cool. But I'm a huge Lovecraft fan. Big guy. So I always try to slide in random Cthulhu references when I can.
Chris.
Oh.
For the first time in 20 years, UFC is here in Miami. So just your thoughts of being on this big card and also having it here in South Florida in Miami.
I am really happy to be on this card. It's really cool to be on big cards, and the media day is different on the very, very big cards. I like Miami. Florida I have mixed feelings about. I've never lost in Florida, which is great. On the flip side, Florida has cost me a lot of money. I have an issue with Cuban women and strippers. And my manager Lance back there shaking his head because Cuban strippers cost me a lot of money in the past. I made terrible decisions with Cuban women, so like I'm excited now. I love the atmosphere and being in Florida. I've never lost here, but at the same time, I'm not leaving my hotel room unless I'm supervised.
And then my last question for me is, you're part of this big show, and I'm just curious, was there part of you that wanted to be on the main card? You always still want to be on the main card. You made the prelims, but is there still some inside of you, or it doesn't matter?
I'm kind of over it now. Like, it's kind of cool, man. Like, this is like a something $1 billion company, right? It's really weird when like you're upset about something, you say shit, and when big majors like it makes one of the top guys out there in matchmaking. What other company do you have? You get mad at work, and like, one of the main people calls you like, "Why are you so upset?" So for me, the thing was when I started this like 15 years ago, my first sale started. I was like, God, it's probably 15 years ago. So maybe I don't know, who knows? Like around 15 years ago, when I started this, there was no undercard guys. There was no like prelim. There was no Fight Pass and like all of that stuff. So you were on a UFC card, and that was it. I am a dinosaur in terms of change. I don't like change. It scares me. Like I don't like things being different. Which is why I started on a fucking Android and I can't go to Apple because like I'm invested and like I'm that guy. So I understand like the model's different. We have like little things, but there's still that part of me that's like 15-year-old. I always say I'm the last old school generation of fighters. So like for me, it's like just main card or bust, main card or bust. So I finally had Nick breaking down to me. He's fine. He's really cool about that. So like, thanks, Big Man, for not being mad at me. Taking time to explain stuff to me. So I accept it. It's fine. Like, I'm in a good spot. Career-wise, it's good. It's me exposure. It's my team exposure. So I'm good with it. Like, I appreciate it.
Chris, over to your left. That's possible. Quick question for you. You opened up as a favorite in this fight, betting-wise, and now you've kind of moved to a slight underdog. You've been one of the most profitable bettors, or fighters to bet on as an underdog. I'm just kind of curious, like, do you embrace being the underdog? Do you like the underdog role? I'm just kind of curious your take on that.
I used to put more thought into it. Like, used to bother me. I used to be the guy like hunting every like prediction video, making comments. And now I realize people suck, and people will turn on me from drop of the hat. Like, so I've since realized that. Like, now I just don't care. Like, I don't. Being an underdog or being a favorite doesn't affect my pay, so I'm just not gonna give it any mind. Like, it's great to get people talking shit to you, like, oh, blah blah blah, they're losing money against you. And I love when they lose money. I absolutely love it. I don't put anything into it. People like make money on me. Great. I'm glad to help. Like, don't send me anything. It's yours. I'm glad that we're in this together. I care about you. You care about me. It's cool. At the end of the day, man, I think after the London card kind of taught me I had to kind of divest myself from things like that because I put too much into it for a long time. Just because I never got to be here. And I wanted to, like, I want to be that guy that people love and whatever. Then I realized people suck and they're fickle, so now I'm like, fuck it, man. It doesn't affect me, my team, my family, or my paycheck. I don't care.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.